Here we go.
Right.
We ready. Stop doing my hand. Stop doing my hand thing. Here we go. Yeah.
It's 200th episode, Robbie. We got
it.
Robbie.
All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the 200th episode of On a Couch Talking Sports. And for the 200th time, I'm Robbie, and this is Kyle. Kyle, how are ya?
I'm feeling 200% awesome tonight, I guess, because it's our 200th episode.
Unbelievable, huh? 200 episodes.
They're almost killed over after that joke.
Yeah, no. Real knee slapper. But really, in all seriousness, 200 episodes. It's unbelievable that this is, we made it, Kyle. We made it 200 episodes.
6 years ago. And then this is also a week after our 6-year anniversary, so 6 years of this and 200 episodes, it's like, whoa. It kind of blows your mind.
And for a very special episode, we needed to bring back a very special guest. The person who has been the guest the most times on the 200 episodes of On a Couch Talking Sports. It is, of course, our pal Doug, back live and in living color. Doug, thank you for being here for this, again, 200 very special episodes. Great to have you here.
I am so glad to be here, Robbie. I almost crashed my car 3 times. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We cannot take any responsibility for distracting.
No. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm very excited about being here, guys. I know I had mentioned to Robbie a while back that I had wanted to try to be on the show if I could. Obviously, if we were all available. But very excited about being here. Congratulations, guys, on your 200th show, and many, many more.
Thank you. Yes, you always hope for many, many more. But so we wanted to do.
Wait, let's let asteroids. No.
Where'd that meteor come from?
Oh, that's nothing.
But since Doug is on, we actually kind of wanted to take a trip with him down memory lane and sort of think back to all the times that Doug has been on our show. Yeah, exactly. Has been on our show
Wayne's World. Sorry.
In the past, and sort of from his perspective, get some of his favorite memories of his appearances on the show, but also just some of his favorite moments from, because I know, Doug watches the show, even when he's not on, and no, he doesn't. That's okay.
Yes, I do. I watch every show. And you should too.
We want you. But yeah, sort of get some of his favorite memories that he's seen from watching our show. So I guess just let's sort of get right into it, Doug. Obviously, let's sort of go first to the times you've been on the show. Obviously, we've talked about a lot of different things, from Ray Rice to this Boston sports in general to just a whole plethora of other things that I can't even remember off the top of my head at the moment. But just sort of takes back some of, when you think back to your times on the show, sort of what memories and sort of what moments do you sort of stand out from your previous appearances?
Sure. I think probably the best thing, the one thing that came to my head as soon as you had texted me what you guys were going to talk about, that was a text that's like, we're going to talk about this. Oh, okay. No problem. Okay,
no pressure or anything.
I'll have to go back to some episodes because I don't remember. Those 200 shows I've been on, I don't know how many times, 6, 7, 12, 42, I don't know.
At least been 6 or 7.
Yeah, at least 6 or 7 times. So to go back and try to, figure out where I was, I haven't slept. I've watched all 200 episodes the last day and a half. I think the best episodes that I was on, one of the episodes I do remember is we started talking about sports, and I can't remember, I think it was about the Patriots and the Bruins, I think. And then all of a sudden we went to this tangent of superheroes.
Yes, I remember that. Yes, I remember that one.
I was like, first of all, in my mind, I'm going, okay, where did this come from? Because I don't remember coming into the superheroes on a couch, talking superheroes. So I don't remember walking into that. But it was like...
It's okay, I brought you there.
Oh, good. Exactly. It was Kyle that brought us there.
Yeah.
No, but
Go figure.
I thought that was really cool because I think what makes this show different than some of the other shows out there, and I'm not talking about necessarily any show in particular, but the other shows, is that, number one, you guys have a good time. That's huge.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you could tell that you have a good time. And when I'm on, I have a good time too. And when you have your other guests on. I think what I like about it is that you can tangent away from sports for a little while.
We definitely do.
And you do all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes
pretty much every
quite
episode.
a long period of time.
Yeah.
But what I like is that it's not just like all about sports. It can like be about other things. It can, because when you're talking about sports, sometimes there's sports that has to do with movies. Sometimes there's sports that have to do with something happens, video games, music, anything that's out there that happens to be a life experience.
Even sports and politics. Even though we don't really talk about politics.
Yeah, we try to stay neutral with the politics.
I really, absolutely, and I don't think I've seen an episode where you guys might touch upon it. We might
do kind of like the fun side, like which president was best in sports or whatever. Something like that.
Right. President Obama had a basketball court in the White House.
Yeah, no, we did do that one.
We did
at one point.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll have to reach on Kyle the episode.
I guess so.
Exactly. But so we sort of when we try to do the lighter side of like topics like that because obviously we're a sports show. We don't want to like get too far down that political rabbit hole.
Yeah, but I that's what I love about the show is that the fact that you can tangent out and be able to you do bring it back.
Yeah.
You bring it back. But what I like is that you tangent it out and all of a sudden you're talking about a movie or you're talking about, oh, yeah, that latest superhero movie went out or Deadpool just came out or whatever. Yeah. By the way, Deadpool is one of my favorite.
Agreed.
One of my favorite. See?
There you go.
See, I knew I was going to get cut.
This guy.
So that's kind of what I like. Some of my favorite times that I've been here are the times that we actually haven't really talked about sports a lot. There's been times that there's a section of sports, and then there's a section of other stuff, and then there's sports again, and then Kyle gets us right back into flying around the room in a cape.
Yes.
So, that's really what I can think about, and I actually do have something that I brought.
Oh.
I can't let you have it unless your name is Doug. But I thought you'd like this. I went into my archives.
Oh, okay.
And I said to myself, I think I mentioned it on a show, and I can't remember what show it was, but I think I mentioned that I had this on the show because we did do that tangent away from sports. And so I want to show you what I brought.
Ooh.
And let me tell you, if Kyle's eyes don't bulge out of his head, there's a problem with Kyle tonight. So this is what I found in my archives.
We're bracing him.
Okay.
This is what I found in my archives.
What is that?
Oh! Ooh. Look at his reaction.
Whoa.
Look at his reaction. All right, so I'm going to show everybody what this is.
That is pretty sad.
Oh, yeah.
Unfreaking believable.
Yeah. This is archived. Now, this is, I'm not exactly, unless it says the date on it, which it might not.
Oh.
This was at Roger Williams. This was a program that we did at Roger Williams. And Adam West, as you can see right here, Adam West came to the school and actually spoke. And it was a little bit of motivational speaking, a little bit of his life, a little bit of how, and then there were questions afterwards, and everybody asked him, of course, about Batman and stuff like that. And then he had a signing. And very, very cool. Look, he's like, oh my God. It's totally awesome. So I wanted to bring that because it is a special episode. Yeah. And I can't believe I found it, although I'm very...
That's a special poster right there.
And what's good is, look at it. It's in really good condition.
That's amazing.
Plastic.
That almost looks like you just got it signed.
This is between 85 and 89. I'm not sure exactly the date, but it's between those years.
Wow.
So, and it was huge. He was so cool. He stayed for a really long time and answered every single question until we were all done asking questions.
That's amazing.
Such a nice guy. We went up to the table to get autographs, and he was just signing all of them. I think he signed for like an hour and a half, 2 hours after the show. The show was probably, at least a few hours. So he stayed a really long time, and it was really, really cool.
That's amazing. Wow. I can't believe that.
Yeah. Come meet the Cape Crusader live. So this was the poster.
Did he bring a back shark repellent spray?
No, he didn't. He didn't. He actually didn't. He came actually as Adam West. He didn't come in the costume. That would be so cool. That would be even better.
Batmobile.
Yes. But what was cool is that he did lecture us, and it was very, very cool. These are the posters that were hanging up all around the campus.
Wow.
So it's really, really cool. And then what we did was he just took these posters. They made a ton of them. And he just signed them for us. So it was really cool. I thought you'd be enamored of that. Okay. He might be done for the rest of the episode.
Kyle's life is complete now. Yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
But,
very impressive.
But it's interesting. You kind of bring up like the tangents that we go off on, because you're right, and it's interesting because like some of our best tangents, I feel like, are tangents that the people at home don't even see. Like they're ones that like we get into before we even start like actually going with the episode. Literally tonight, like we just spent 15 to 20 minutes talking about, where we all have lived, like
at restaurants in Boston.
Before we start even, because we like click record and spent like literally 15, 20 minutes just talking about stuff completely unrelated before we actually started the episode. But it is true. I think I think you're right. I think that's one of the really fun things about just doing this show is that we can kind of like, we have as we always say, we have sort of an idea, like a topic that we want to talk about, but where we take it is like completely just off the top of our heads, and it can go so many different ways sometimes. And it's fun. That's what makes it fun, just sort of.
Yeah. And if you notice, some of the sports shows out there are actually starting to do that too. They're actually tangenting off, because sometimes what happens is that you could talk about a subject, and then then by Thursday or Friday you're still talking about that subject, and it's like, oh my God, I don't want to hear about this anymore.
Yeah,
I want to turn the station.
Variety.
So they start talking about different stuff. Yeah. There's a couple of guys, and I don't remember. I think it's on 93.7, but I'm not sure. I think it was really late at night, and they started talking about some restaurant that they've all gone to for. It was like a good 15 minutes of no sports and just restaurant.
Well, it's funny because like
I know it was late, but still.
Toucher and Rich on 95 The Sports. A lot of times they like just dive into conversations about topics completely unrelated to sports.
Yes, well, the thing about that is that it is a morning show.
Yeah.
So when you have a morning show, you talk about sports. Of course, I went to Emerson, studied radio, so I know. Studying a little.
Doug the expert.
No, I'm not at all. Not even close. But I did study a little bit about it, and what they do is on the morning show, you get a little bit more leeway to be able to do a lot more. You talk about sports, but
you could do a lot more off the cuff.
Yeah, you could do a lot more off the cuff stuff, and they do a lot.
Oh,
I've actually listened to the Greg Hill show now in the morning, and it's actually really good. They have Tom Brady on.
I knew he came on. Yeah,
yeah, he comes on Mondays.
They used to be Dennis and Callahan.
Yes, Greg Hill is so much better. He's got several other people who he works with, and I think it's really funny. He actually did something with the firefighter that just passed away, unfortunately. He put this whole thing together, and the governor actually called him a couple mornings ago to thank him for. He raised I don't even know the number. He raised thousands of dollars for this through his. He has a foundation, the Greg Hill Foundation. He raised thousands of dollars for this firefighter that died.
Well, the Bruins, I know, did their 50-50 raffle for the firefighter as well recently. And they raised about $250,000 for the firefighter's family and all that. I mean, that's
huge. And I know that. I think there's a GoFundMe page too, but I'm not sure. But that was really tragic.
Rest in peace. I think
absolutely.
Jason Menard, or I think, but just
these guys are first responders.
Our thoughts and prayers, go out to his family. I mean, it's tragic. But.
Definitely. And again, didn't mean to bring up something that was tragic
during
the celebration, but again, just.
Tangents.
It is a tangent. It's a tangent. But that's what makes the show exciting to watch, is because there are tangents. You don't just talk about the same subject over and over and over again. It's you talk about a subject and then you move to something else. And it might be sports related, it might not be sports related. But again, I think the morning shows have a little bit more leeway with doing some different stuff. Toucher Toucher lives in Brookline, right?
Newton.
Okay, lives in Newton.
Yeah.
They were doing this thing about people calling.
Brookline police scanner.
Yeah, that's when I shut it off.
Yeah.
Because they're ragging on my town. They're ragging on my hometown. So, yeah, I mean, this doesn't just happen in Brookline. It happens in Newton, and it happens everywhere.
But it is kind of
special that happens in Brooklyn.
I don't know. It's just weird phone calls to the police.
They're trying to be comedic.
Exactly. I would rather have. I would rather.
There's a radio station. Not to get too far into it, but there's a radio station that does, or used to do, at least in their afternoon show. Not a sports station, but one of the music stations. They did the Wellesley police scanner, because one of the co-hosts lived in Wellesley, so they did the Wellesley police blotter and read all the Wellesley police.
I wouldn't mind if they used a few towns. I just feel like they're they kind of pick on Brookline a little bit, and I grew up there, and that's all. Everybody, you should listen to the phone calls of every town. They're crazy. So, but that's what I like about this show, is that you can get on a tangent, come back and tangent again if you want to.
Yeah. But, any other, just before we sort of move on here, any other just episodes you've been on that sort of stuck out to you, any sort of memories from when you've been on, besides, I know you were just touching on the, whatever the one is, because we completely got off on a tangent. I completely forgot what your original point was.
The superheroes.
The superheroes, yeah. Any other moments from your appearance?
I think it was kind of cool the couple times I was actually on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually on the phone. Live via satellite.
Yeah, I think it's been at least once or twice you've been on.
Yes, World Series.
Phone.
We talked about the World Series.
Yeah.
I think I was on the phone during that time.
I remember that one.
Yeah, and by the way, because we did our World Series picks this year, and Kyle absolutely nailed his World Series picks. I mean, no, I'm not kidding. He picked the Nationals.
And he's a Montreal fan. What's up with that?
He picked the Nationals to beat the Dodgers. Picked the Nationals to beat the Dodgers. He picked the Cardinals to beat the Braves. He picked the Nationals to beat the Cardinals. He picked Houston over Tampa. Yankees over the Twins. Houston over the Yankees. And then the Nationals over Houston. And he just completely got it all right. We could not believe it.
I was wrong from the beginning, so I don't know how
I got half right. I got all my American League picks right, but I got my NL and World Series picks.
Yeah, the American League stuff was fine, but the NL stuff was, and even Robbie and I admitted on the Sports Blitz, which, by the way, is the other show that we, you need to listen to.
Yeah. We have to have Kyle on the Sports Blitz.
Yes, we do. Yes, absolutely. We even admitted that we don't know too much about the NL anyway. We don't know too much about the National League. So let's just guess.
Yeah. This team is
this team
colors,
is okay.
yeah.
And I think they wear, what do they wear again? Are they red and blue or are they green? I can't remember. So it was a little, that's awesome. Robbie had told me that he did that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you don't know anything about sports.
No, I
He
still
used
think
the
about
dartboard.
Is that right?
Let's see. Nationals. Yes.
I'm actually from the future, so I'm a time traveling heist.
Oh, you got the
person.
book?
Con man, yeah. Oh, yeah.
From Back to the Future, that sports
Don't
book?
tell anyone, the almanac, yeah, I got
The
that.
almanac, the sports almanac. Well, I don't know. Doc
I was
Brown.
wondering why this big guy was chasing me around. He said his name was Biff. Huh, I wonder.
I don't know. Was there a tall guy there with hair out to here? His name was Doc Brown?
Yeah, he was like in the distance. They were coming after me too, actually, and Marty McFly. I don't know why though, but I was just getting chased by all these people.
They jumped in the car to hide, and then all of a sudden the car just took off.
Oh yeah, they were yelling, "Oh, that's my car! That's my car!" But I didn't think it was their car. It's like a magic car, so I don't know.
Don't have any idea.
But yeah,
Sounds good,
we definitely have had a lot of good moments with Doug on both in person and by the phone. But what I also want to know from you, Doug, like I was saying, is that like, are there any moments when you just sort of have been watching the show where, and obviously you talked about like tangents and stuff like that. I mean, that's great in and of itself. But are there any sort of other moments that you've seen and be like, that was a sort of standout, sort of like that was a really good moment, or whatever the case may be. Just from because we're always curious, like from a fans / friend / guest perspective, like when they watch the show, just at home or whatever, like what sort of stands out for them? What do they like? What do they like and enjoy the most? So just, since you're here, what like I said, what sort of stood out to you from just watching?
Yeah, well, I think some of it is the fact that you guys play off each other pretty well too. So that's something that's important too, because if you hate your host, it's not going to be a good time.
Who says that I don't hate him?
Bruins fan.
Canadians fan.
Wait a minute, I might have opened a can of worms here that I might not be able to close up.
No, I'm just kidding. We're going. We're
It's all good, man.
Okay, all right, that's enough, guys.
Objection. Nauseating niceness.
You're too cheesy.
I think I'd rather you guys beat each other up. But it's okay.
I mean, you get some of that too, actually. So.
Well, yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, pre-show we just
actually does
counted
happen.
on each other. Yeah.
I think there were a couple bloopers where I remember we just were ragging on each other. Like I think you had me in the headlock at one point, and then I whacked you.
I just smacked you in the face. Like
yeah,
before every episode, I feel like I smacked you in the face at least once.
I always zap you too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So do I.
So, you know what's weird is that Robbie and I actually do this too. When we do the sports blitz, we do like 50 minutes of so what's going on, what's happening, and then we're beating each other up, and then all of a sudden we're not on on video, it's audio. So before we start the audio,
sometimes we'll be talking for a regular episode. It'll just be, since we know we're not on camera, just be hitting each other.
Because we know nobody can see that.
No, I can see it. Direct hit.
Right. Exactly.
What does that pillow sound?
Exactly.
Why did that sounds like a vase fell over? What the hell's going on there? Sorry.
Right. I think when it comes to moments, I think some of the moments are really where it's like you guys are talking about something, and all of a sudden, Robbie, you'll say something, and Kyle will just start cracking up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he cracks up, and he's not going to be able to talk for at least a minute.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be able to talk for a minute. So those are very prevalent in the ones that I've seen. Is that or vice versa. Sometimes Kyle will say something, and all of a sudden, Robbie's done.
Yeah.
And we do that too, and it's sports blitz all the time.
Oh my god!
Oh.
It's not an episode of the sports, but if we don't just completely go off the rails for a good 2 to 3 minutes at least.
Absolutely, and we're cracking up and we're laughing and we cannot stop.
What was the one? I don't again sort of going off on a tangent here, but we did one where like it was recent too. We like both like butchered like the names of like coaches or something like that, and we just couldn't stop laughing about it.
I think I had said I can't remember what it was, but it was either it was a word or a coach or a name. I think it was a name of a person that was supposed to play basketball that actually plays hockey or something like that. Yeah. And I was just, I don't know where it came from.
I know at one point, I think you were trying to say the name of the Bruins coach and you said some complete... No, you said Butch Cassidy instead of Prince Cassidy.
I said Butch Cassidy, right. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. And then all of a sudden, he starts laughing. He's like, it's not Butch. And we were done. We were done for like, I don't know, at least a few minutes.
Yeah, that was
but that's what I like. It's different when we do the sports list because people can't see us and what we're doing. It's different with
people
you guys.
People can definitely see us.
It's different with you guys.
Hi, everybody.
The whole picture right here.
It's different with you guys because people can see you.
Yeah.
So,
but we still go crazy even though people can't see us. And sometimes like, you know, you'll have a game on in the background, you'll just see me just, like, staring, like, just off into space, watching, or on my phone or something like that while the episode
that's the worst thing to do, is to have a game on in the background. Robbie and I were watching a Red Sox game in the background when we were doing one of the shows, and I was like, Robbie! He's like,
it's like,
come on, hit the ball!
Doug, focus!
It's horrible.
Or Doug, like, an alert will come to Doug's phone and be like, it's like, Doug, we're talking about something here.
Speaking of that, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
I've caught him a few times. I put on the blooper reel a couple of times with the sports.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
What happened? Oh, by the way, the Bruins won 5-1, by the way, just in case anybody was wondering.
Oh, nice. Very nice. How did Montreal do tonight?
Oh!
It's starting early!
Montreal currently is down 5-2 to Columbus in the third period.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, snap!
What is happening?
Oh,
I'm so sad!
But yeah,
we miss your.
It just went final. Columbus 5, Montreal 2.
In other words, the Bruins actually won, and the Canadians lost.
Oh.
That's such a tragedy.
Bad luck, I'm afraid.
Bad luck.
But yeah, it's just amazing to me. You know, just looking back, I mean, we started this show as just kind of, we were like, you know what? Let's just, for yucks, just record ourselves, you know, talking about sports and see what happens. And to think, like, we're 6 years and now 200 episodes.
That's crazy.
And we continue to do it. And we always say, like, we wouldn't be doing this if we weren't enjoying it. It really is. We love it. We love having guests on, you know, like Doug or Craig, my sister, or the two Scots that we know, Jerome, who's in the other room right now.
He'll come back. He'll come back for a future episode.
Yeah. I mean, just all these different people that we've had the privilege of having on. And it really is. I mean, it's like, you know, we're not one of these YouTube shows that gets millions and millions of views, or you know, millions of followers. But you know what? That's okay. Like, you know, we have a small but loyal following, and we just do it because we enjoy it. We don't do it for the fame and fortune.
You do.
Yeah, we don't do it because for the fame and fortune. We just do it because
We don't. We're supposed to get our YouTube.
Wait a minute.
At the end of the week, Robbie.
Wait a minute. Isn't it a better idea to make famous? Oh, never mind.
But it's like we just do it because
You mean we can make money doing this?
Monetization.
Yeah, there you go.
My goodness, let's put this on YouTube.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's a great idea. Oh wait.
Wait. Wait. Hold
on. Montreal lost. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Montreal lost.
No house, no. Excuse me.
Bruins awesome.
Yeah.
Woo.
But yeah, it's been an amazing run so far, and it's going to keep going. I mean, we're not anywhere close to being finished, so you're stuck with us, folks.
Unless the FCC shuts him down.
Oh,
sorry. What? Well, who said that?
But
it was the fish.
I did, because obviously, even though this is a special episode, we still want to do some of our our segments that we've come to enjoy here over these past, 6 years, and so
it's funny because, what's funny? I'm just sorry. I just wanted to do a quick retrospect to that. It's funny because when we started. I remember our original segments. They were like the monologues. But we kind of eventually did away with those because
we kind of have adjusted. We thought of different segments.
I just realized that I hadn't thought of it till now. Till you brought up about the segments, but I'm we actually kind of changed them up a little bit. A lot of times
we have evolved.
Yeah, because it's kind of interesting now.
Well, Kyle has. I'm not sure about Robbie.
Oh.
Sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
Right.
Ooh. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was it. It's interesting how we evolved.
So no, I did want to move on to a couple of segments that we again have always enjoyed, and one is the Robbie's favorite football recap for this week. Yeah, Doug, you're gonna enjoy this, and feel free to chime in at any point because I know you know these teams, or at least a couple of these teams. So we're gonna start out with the Wellesley. We're gonna start with the Wellesley High team who had their final game prior to Thanksgiving on Friday night, and actually came away with a victory, a 19-14 win over King Philip down in Rentham.
King Philip.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
Yeah, so they
don't know how to play football.
So Wellesley heading into Thanksgiving Day on a high note. Well, they call football something different. They call football something different.
Yes.
So they're 8-2 heading into Thanksgiving. They're off this week, and then obviously the annual Wellesley Thanksgiving Day Showdown will be a week from Thursday.
Yeah.
In Wellesley this year. So very much looking forward to that.
I unfortunately will not be able to attend to it this year, but I'm sure it'll be a great game.
Yes.
Good luck.
And then Boston College football had a bye week this week. Yeah, a bye week this week. So they are currently still at 5-5 on the year, and will actually be playing kind of a rivalry game of their own on Saturday. They're going to be going to Notre Dame to face the Fighting Irish.
Aye, Captain.
Yeah, definitely. Not quite sure if I. Oops, sorry. Oh, your disc is almost full.
How's your disc?
Story of my life.
But yeah, they're going to Notre Dame this weekend. Very excited about that.
I've actually been listening. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
I've been listening to some of the BC stuff on radio.
Yeah.
It's been pretty good, although I'm not a big John Mita Perrell fan.
Yeah,
but
he's all right. He's
okay. He's done it for a long time, so I get it. But I'm not certainly not a huge fan of that. I mean, I like him. He's good, but I just thought they've been playing for. They've been doing pretty well.
Yeah. So definitely a big game this week, and then of course the New England Patriots coming off the bye week got a big win in Philadelphia, 17-10 on Sunday to get back in the win column.
Nail biter.
The defense totally won them that game. The offense did basically nothing. Did nothing except for Julian Edelman's one, touchdown pass.
I think Julian Edelman should become the quarterback. Brady's how tall is Brady? 6'2", 6'4", 6'3",
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah.
That's wide receiver, right? Why not?
Oh, like a
Switch
swap?
positions.
Switch positions!
Swap?
Brady,
You heard it here!
Brady can't run.
It doesn't matter. Make him do a button hook, an end out. And
Okay,
go
done. Okay,
to the end
done.
zone and stand there.
I think I'll trust Bill Belichick over you, but no offense. But
What's up with that?
but yeah, so
Just a thought.
there's never a bad thought. There's never a wrong thought.
Well, depending on when Brady, or if Brady leaves sooner than Edelman, then you're right. Actually, I think...
No, I'm just talking right now.
Should we go?
Because
Oh,
he's the only one that's actually passing for touchdowns.
Yeah, seriously. No,
That's what I'm talking
sad
about.
part is that true. But the Patriots will be hosting the Cowboys this weekend,
Nice.
so hoping.
No, they're down in Dallas.
No, I think they're here.
No, they're not.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's check that. I'm gonna do some on-air research just to confirm. You know, I've been known to be wrong occasionally,
All the time.
all the time. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
Let's see. This is week 12. Cowboys at Patriots Sunday 4:25.
Oh,
So
okay, cool.
Okay.
you were wrong.
Hey, I admit it. I was wrong. I thought that they were I thought they were in Dallas, but that's fine. It's all
they're
good.
they're going to be in Houston in a couple weeks,
Yeah.
but they're home versus the Cowboys this week.
So you're saying it's America's team versus the Cowboys?
Yes. Ooh, very nice. Very nice, Kyle. All right.
Sorry.
look-
I'm firing the
Hey!
shots right now.
Wow.
He's trying to put himself back into the good graces after the whole Canadians thing. So he's...
Well, he seems to be kicking the glass now.
yeah. Taking names. Kicking ass and taking names. But the other segment that we do that we'll move on to right now is
Oh,
our
yes.
Kyle and I's fantasy football recap for this past week.
Oh, yeah.
Glad they said fantasy football, because if they didn't say football after the fantasy thing, I'm out of here.
But yeah, Kyle and I both had a little bit of a hard time in our league
Yeah, we'll shake
this
it.
week. But I guess I'll start us off this week. Let's see. For our league, I came up a little bit short. I lost 101 to 94.
Wow, that was a close game, though.
Yeah, close game. Jacoby Brissett, my starting quarterback, did okay. He basically had 16 points. But my big performer was Calvin Ridley of the Falcons. He had 20 points for me. But unfortunately, just could not get the job done. So I'm currently 3-8 in that league. Just having a bit of struggle. Doing a lot better in my other league where I'm 6-5 and won this past week. I won 164 to 111. And Patrick Mahomes came back and had he was back last week, but he had 31 points for me this week. Jakeem Grant of Miami had 38 points. Tariq Cohen had 18. Ridley, again, had 27. And the New Orleans defense had 21 points for me in the victory. So 6-5 in that league, up to 4th place. So I was very happy about that. Kyle, I know you had a bit of a struggle too in our league this week. But you're doing a lot better record-wise than I have. So,
well, we'll see about it. We'll see what happens. But yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna get this up really quick. Yeah, just so what was it? So yeah, last week I did end up losing. Sorry, I can't use this app to save my life. There we go. It was 79 to 93. So it was all right. It was whatever. There were a few players that really underperformed. I think one of my players, actually, Damian Williams, he got injured. That's why he didn't really do very well during the game. So
how dare you, Damian?
yeah, come on, man.
How dare you?
But everyone else did moderate to okay. Like, no standouts. Tucker was my kicker, and he was like the 3rd highest scoring because what's his name? Justin Tucker. He's a really good kicker.
Well, also he's for Baltimore. He seems to be putting up points at an astronomical rate these days.
Yeah.
because of Lamar Jackson.
It's incredible.
Who's been very impressive.
Which means getting me all the fantasy points.
Yeah.
But not enough for this week, unfortunately.
Well, there's always next week.
Oh, well.
But what I'd like to do now, since, again, special episode, special guest, I want to actually turn over to Doug to give us sort of the final word on this, or the final words, I should say, on this 200th episode, sort of throwing it back to the monologue phase that we...
Can we do that without getting zapped?
Doug, sort of just as we wrap things up here, just sort of some final thoughts from you as we close out our 200th episode.
I think my final thoughts is that you guys are doing a fabulous job. I love being on the show. I want to be on more. And
you definitely will be.
Oh, yeah.
No, absolutely. I'm just throwing it out there. Just keep going. I think you definitely have a following out there, and except for Gerald. And yes,
what are you talking about?
That was right for you, buddy.
We love Gerald and his lovely Facebook comments on our end of show selfies every week.
We totally love those comments. I actually comment on a few of those myself.
You comment on the comments.
I comment on the comments, yes. Yeah. No, Gerald, I was just kidding. We love you. So I think what it comes down to is that I think you guys should keep going. Do what you guys do best, which is to do the stuff that you need to do, which you just did, but also do the off the cuff stuff, because the off the cuff stuff is number one hilarious. Number two, it's refreshing to see that, and keep morphing the show into different things. I know the Sports Bliss, Robbie and I are actually switching off being the host.
We should do that.
Each time.
We've done that. We've done
each week.
Like, just sort of for fun, sometimes we'll have Kyle try to take over.
We started doing that, and it's worked out really well. It's been great. Sometimes we forget who was supposed to host because it's been like a month. But other than that, I think you guys are doing a fabulous job. I always appreciate you having me on, and
always appreciate you coming.
And just keep going, keep doing, keep giving the people what they want.
Well, in that case, we'd have to cancel the show, but I'm just kidding.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Okay, well, this will be my last time on the show, so I'll see you later.
Little self. Hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you?
Whoa, we're actually now laughing at you. But that's exactly what. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Gerald's going to comment on that.
All right. But again, Doug, like I said, thank you for coming on. We really enjoyed having you again for all the episodes.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
And I mean, especially for this 200th episode, and
I feel like balloons should be coming down from the sky.
I know, right? Yeah. Or like just surprise
like
where
was that? I requested a flyover.
Fireworks, flyovers. I mean,
a banner was supposed to just come straight.
I get nothing here. I feel like there's something. Streamers.
Hey, you know what?
Glitter.
Hey, you know what?
No glitter.
But you know what?
You
know what?
Something.
We did get an Adam West signed photo, so that was pretty good.
I knew. I was like, I will tell you a small little story. It took me a while to find it, just because I couldn't remember exactly which box I put it in.
Yeah.
And very organized nowadays with all my stuff. But when I found it, I finally was going to. I was like, "Oh, come on, you gotta find it. This is my last thing I'm trying to look at." I'm going on. Oh, this could be it. I was in the basement of my house going, wow, I hope this is it. So I unfolded. I was like, Kyle's going to love this.
Yeah. And he did.
I found it.
Mine was absolutely blown.
Yeah.
All right. So that is going to wrap up the 200th episode of On a Couch Talking Sports.
Did it.
For Doug and for Kyle. I'm Robbie, signing off from the couch, and we will see you next time for episode number 201. Bye, everybody.
it's Doug's hand.
Doug's
Yeah, wait, hold on.
I just-
No,
I
just
no,
put his
here we
hand
go.
in.
Just
Hi.
Kyle.
man.
Hi, everybody. What's up?
No,
That's
it's
like a
Kyle.
handshake with a hand.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Kyle and
We're
two
working on it,
hands.
we're working on
Kyle and two hands.
Yeah.
It's the Kyle show with the two hands. Ooh.
Prepare
Okay.
for a hands-on experience.
Wow.
That was bad.
That was a really bad pun.